Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, Friday we saw US market again moving up, led by few good results over there and positive sentiment. Whereas today morning the Asian markets are down and even the Dow future is also down. Uh, the main negative sentiment is coming from China and Hong Kong, where China has further accelerated its regulations on tech company over there. And if we see Hong Kong tech index is down by around 5%, which is having a negative impact on other market as well. Uh, Whereas if you see the commodity, most of the commodities are positive. Oil is around $74, whereas aluminum is up by around 1.7, copper is up by around 2%, iron ore is up by around 2.5%, and steel is up by around 1%. So only one thing is creating negative sentiment. Otherwise, things are positive. So quite possible after opening lower, we may find some support uh, as the corporate results are comparatively better. Now I'll ask technical team to take up first.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Last week we see some positive momentum during the week, and Nifty managed to close above 15,850 level. But upside immediate resistance we see last 2 week we see upside towards 15,900 and 940 level for important resistance for Nifty. So we expect today some profit booking in upper range, and maybe see the important support zone is 15,788 downside. If Nifty managed to sustain this support 15,787.70 level, then we see a sideways moment during the day after gap of opening. But if Nifty break this level and close below first half an hour, then we expect further pressure towards 15,700, level. Upside 15,920, for important resistance for Nifty. If Nifty goes above, then we expect further momentum. Bank Nifty Friday we see positive momentum and close near the 50 DMA. Do we expect some positive side momentum in banking? But if Bank Nifty open below 35,000, 34,970 level, then we expect pressure in Bank Nifty also downside 34,600, at important support for Bank Nifty. Upside resistance place at 35,300. So we expect both index trading near the crucial resistance level, and support zone also near where we expect sideways movement after gap up opening. And if manage the support, then we expect next 1 to 2 trading session again bounce back. But today we expect sideways movement after gap up opening. Nifty Finance also trading near the resistance level, and that is 16,700, and support place at 16,630 level, and below that 16,540 next support zone for Nifty Finance. In stock specific, ITC looks positive. We already given call in a Friday session, but we expect further momentum in ITC. Upside 220 is the next target. You can place stop loss around 206, 205 downside. So we can expect positive momentum in ITC. Second one is HDFC Life. uh, we see the is trading near the support zone. To expect the positive momentum in HDFC Life at current level, and upside we expect in target towards 690, 700, and downside support zone is 660. 658. So we can keep watch these two talk for technical. That is for technical derivative I can.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. See, on the derivative front, again, from the last 6 weeks, neither the Nifty has moved anywhere, nor has the data changed a lot. The data is there, and then we follow generally the data and the moves in the data. But because it is stable, there is not much to actually speak about. We are expecting this range bound trade to continue. 15,800 and 15,500 are good support areas on the downside. And for Nifty at this point of time, the range seems to be the 15,650 and the 15,950 range, and that range needs to be broken. Only then you'll see some data changing as well. The open interest, overall open interest is around the same levels. The PCR again at 1.15. VIX continues to be around the 12 levels. And also on the Nifty open interest chart, 16,000 call has the highest open interest, while 15,500 put and 15,000 put have the highest open interest amongst puts. So more or less the same. From the stock specific front, we expect pharma to do well, as we've been saying from start. Pharma seems to have bottomed out, and the consolidation is done. We expect pharma to move up from here, and the selective stocks in the segment are Sun Pharma, Lupin, Divi's, Dr. Reddy. These stocks should move up. Also, Bharti Airtel has witnessed a good amount of consolidation, and the open interest has decreased. That means the shorts are out of the system. So it is a likely candidate to move up as well. So if it goes above 560 odd levels, you will see it running up as well. So look out for the same. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team.
Good morning. Yes Bank result was better than expectation, mainly because of higher recoveries. The gross NPAs were flattish quarter on quarter and have not increased. Although restructured book has increased from 0.7% to 3%, which is negative. So we remain neutral on the bank. Federal Bank result was below expectation. Again, gross NPA here also was flattish quarter on quarter, but restructured book has increased from 1.2 to 2%. So expect credit cost for FY22 to remain on the higher side, although we are positive in the long term. SBI cards result was above expectation. Net NPA has reduced to almost pre-COVID level of less than 1%. Net stressed book over and above the net NPA now stands at just 2%. So we believe there is probably one more quarter of higher credit cost left, and after which it will normalize to pre-COVID levels. So we are positive over here. From here on, SBI cards can outperform the Bank Nifty. ICICI Bank result was below expectation because of higher slippages. They were at 7,000 crores against expectation of around 4,000 crores. Q2 slippage is also likely to be on the higher side, although it will be lower than Q1. But second half should see good improvement in asset quality. So this was asset quality, but overall on operational side, performance has been good for quite some time. Loan growth has continuously been increasing. It is at multi-year highs of 17%, and if we talk of just domestic loan book, then that is at 20%. So both are almost at 7-year highs. So market will recognize this as well. NIMs also continue to increase at they are at 3.9%, up about 20 basis points year on year. And this is against the backdrop of NIM declining for HDFC Bank. So clearly ICICI Bank seems to be outperforming HDFC Bank on the operational front. So overall, we remain positive on ICICI Bank. MCX result was below expectation. Revenue and EBITDA declined by 10% and 16% quarter on quarter, mainly because of lower gold and silver prices. So both these commodities almost contribute to 50% of the revenue. So we are neutral over here. That's it from my side.
Good morning, everyone. So ITC announced their results, and results were above expectations. Overall, the revenue grew by 35% YOY, and even the margins uh, have been better at 33.5% versus 30% last year. The company saw strong sequential recovery momentum in cigarettes, which led to volume reaching nearly pre-COVID levels. The robust performance by FMCG other segments, the revenue where grew by 10.4%. There was also strong revenue seen in external revenue of agri businesses. However, the major surprise came from the paperboards, paper and packaging segment, where the revenue grew by 54% and segment EBIT was up 145%. The stock is trading at around 16.5 times FY22 consensus EPS, which is one of the cheapest FMCG stock. So we expect some positive momentum in this in today's trade. United Spirits announced their results, and results were broadly in line with the expectations. The volumes came at around 61% versus expectation of 53%. We the con call is today scheduled, so we will get more details on this. The margins were above expectations at 10.4% versus expectation of 9.9%. And today the new CEO will address the con call, so we'll get to know more directional overview about the company in coming period. Jubilant Pharmova announced their results, and results were broadly in line with the expectations. Though revenue grew by 41% YOY, the margins were also at 23% versus expectation of 22.3%. Uh, the company, though, faced import alert during the quarter on their Roorkee facility. However, the US FDA had given some exemptions to few of the products, and the overall impact of this facility is around less than 3% of revenues. However, we believe that due to the import alert, the remediation expense would go on and would increase going forward. The company is facing continue to see the pressure on radio pharma business due to the COVID. And though the sequential improvement was seen in other areas like allergy and specialty pharma, radio pharma the company expects radio pharma to pick up in coming period as the restrictions are going down now. Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals announced their results, and result is below expectation. Though the revenue grew by 46% YOY, EBITDA came at 125 crore versus expectation of 149 crores. The stock is trading on 49 times FY22 EPS. Atul Limited announced their results, and results were broadly in line with expectations. The EBITDA margins came at 22% versus expectation of 22%. Share is trading at 37 times FY22 EPS. But we are positive on this company. We have seen that the amazing price movement in Atul because of the consistent uh, results what they are giving in past few years. Another news and non results is that Bajaj Consumer has launched a new product, that is Bajaj 100% pure coconut oil, which is we believe is positive, which is something uh, uh, business and segment and market expansion from the company, divergent from Amla. So this is something we are positive. Thank you.
Yeah, a few more results. First of all, Reliance Industries. Reliance Industry reported results ahead of expectations, mainly driven by Geo and retail. Geo subscriber base came higher at around 4 lakh, 440.6 million versus expectation of 432 millions, and ARPU also came ahead of expectation at 138.4 versus last quarter expectation of 135 and last quarter 138.2, whereas we had seen ARPU for other company declining. Uh, Apart from that, retail also show ahead of expectations results with EBITDA at around 1941 versus last expectation of 1700. Even after the close down, we saw outperformance as compared to expectations. And O2C business, that is oil to consumer, oil to chemical business remained stable and reported EBITDA of around 1200 crores, but having some other income as well. So overall, result of Reliance Industries was ahead of expectations. And the outlook for Reliance Industry is more of a stable, uh, considering that oil to chemical business margins are relatively at a higher level and may see some corrections in the coming period, whereas retail and geo will continue to outperform. JSW Steel announced results. The results were above expectations, wherein realizations came higher, increased by around 21% quarter on quarter to 78,800. And EBITDA also increased by around 37% Q on Q to 28,500, almost higher by around 2,000 rupees as against expectations. But from here, the margins seems to be peaked out until and unless we see further steel price increases, because now the cost increase will kick in from next quarter. Higher coke prices will start getting impact reflections in the prices, in the margins, and part of the impact will come in Q2, and a majority of full impact of the increased coke prices will come in the third quarter. We had seen the coke prices increasing from $110 to $210. The impact of same will be visible in the next 2 quarters. Apart from that, iron ore prices has also, company has not taken full impact of the iron ore prices in this quarter because of the inventory benefit. But coming quarter, the increase in iron ore prices will also have an impact in Q2. So overall, the cost is likely to increase, whereas the realization Q on Q may not increase that much. As such, EBITDA, which has come at 28,000, may see some softness going forward. Apart from that, company has announced investments in the group company, that is renewable power company and even paint company as well. So this may not be taken very positive by the market. So overall results is well ahead of expectations, but do not expect any great run up from here for the JSW Steel. Apart from that, the other result which came is Ambuja Cement. Here again, result came ahead of expectations. Volume increased by 10% Q on Q, declined by 10% Q on Q to 6.42 million ton, whereas realization is up by around 4%. EBITDA per ton has increased by around 200 rupees to 1495. We had seen that the similar type of increase was visible in ACC as well. So more of a similar type of increase which has come in Ambuja Cement for EBITDA per ton. So overall outlook for cement sector is positive, but Ambuja Cement seems to be comparatively costlier in the basket. Then IMFA has come up with the number, and the numbers were ahead of expectations. Volume came in at lower at around 59,500 tons, whereas last quarter it was extraordinarily high at around 72,200 tons, and last year 59,700 tons. Realization has improved sharply and came in at 90,400 versus last quarter 79,700 and last year 68,800. And EBITDA per ton has also moved up to 29,200 versus Q on Q 17,900 and year on year 10,100. The EBITDA per ton is what we expect is further likely to improve as prices of ferrochrome has further moved up in the coming quarter, and benefit of long-term contract, which is 3-month driven, is also likely to get benefit in the coming quarter. So overall, the EBIT result which has come can further improve from here as well. So overall outlook is positive for the IMFA, Indian Metal and Ferroalloy Corporation. Apart from that, there is one more news about JSPL, wherein they had come up with revised proposal for sale of their Jindal Power Limited. Earlier, company announced sale of Jindal Power Limited to the group company uh, at a price which was not agreeable by the institutional investor. Now, JSPL has come up with revised proposal wherein they had set as a they will be going for bidding process for sale of the power plant with floor price at around 7,400, which will be paid by one of their group company. So if suppose group there is no bid above that price, then the power plant will go to group company. And if there is a bid for higher prices than the 7,400, then there will be a benefit of then the plant will be go to outside. Overall debt in the JSPL book is at around 19,000 crore, and this will bring down the debt by around 8,000 crore if this gets sold off. So overall positive for JSPL. Now results for 28th. Uh, quite a few results are there. Birla Soft will be announcing results, and the revenue is likely to increase by around 4.6% quarter on quarter, and margin is likely to come off a bit as compared to last quarter, maybe because of increasing some employee cost pressure. Share is trading at around 25 time PE FY23 earning, which is comparatively higher for mid cap stock. So overall direction is okay, neutral for the company. Century Textile will be reporting results. Here the main value of the company come from real estate sector. But if you see the other two sector, that is paper and textile, both are doing currently well. Yesterday we had seen that the ITC paper division has reported good strong improvement in the profitability. So quite possible Century may see some benefit in their paper division and textile also, whereas real estate doesn't show any profitability, but the key value come from real estate sector, which is also buoyant. So overall direction wise outlook seems positive. Then Happiest Mind Technology is likely to report number. The numbers are likely to be good. It's a 100% digital driven company, where the growth in other company what we had seen in digital division is over 20-25%. So similar thing can come over here, but the valuations which right now market is giving to Happiest Mind is some extraordinary at almost 100 times P FY23, which seems quite high. So need to be careful in that respect. MGL is likely to report numbers are likely to be more of a bit declining quarter on quarter. Revenue is likely to decline by around 15%, mainly driven by 13% decline in volume, whereas margins is likely to remain stable. So overall outlook is okay for Mahanagar Gas. Then Maruti Suzuki is likely to announce result here quarter on quarter. Volume is volume figure has already been declared and is declined by around 28% quarter on quarter, but up by around 360% year on year. But comparing year on year may not be feasible. Whereas key thing to watch is the margin, how the margin behave. The expectation is that the margin is likely to decline by around 200 bips quarter on quarter. Overall, what we are seeing that company is not able to pass on the increasing cost to the consumer, and that price increase which has been taken is not sufficient to meet the increasing cost. As such may see some pressure on that account. Overall direction wise is more of a neutral on Maruti Suzuki. Nestle India is likely to announce result on 28th, and here the results are expected to be improving. Year on year sales is likely to improve by around 15% and margin is likely to remain stable year on year and may come off a bit quarter on quarter as last quarter had seen some margin expansion. So overall result of Nestle is likely to show improvement. Then Pfizer is likely to report number. Here again, the result is expected to be improving. Here what we had seen that revenue is likely to increase by around 23% year on year. Most of the domestic pharma company are likely to report very good numbers in the volume increase in the revenue side. And margin is likely to remain stable at around 21%, which is the expectations for the full year as well. So overall, result for Pfizer is likely to show improvement. Then Radico Khaitan is likely to report number. Here again, year on year revenue is likely to improve by 23%, but quarter on quarter revenue will decline by 24%. Mainly because of the lockdown, the decline is getting visible. Yesterday, we had seen that the United Spirit Q-on-Q revenue has declined by 27%, whereas the Radico Khaitan decline in revenue is expected at around 24%. Margins are likely to remain stable at around 14.7%. Last quarter also, it was at around 14.6%. So overall result wise, it is okay, but opening up can benefit the company in the future. Then Root Mobile is likely to report number. Here Q on Q growth or in revenue is expected at around 6%. Management has guided for revenue growth of around 20-25% for the year, and this growth of 6% is in line with that, and the margins are likely to remain stable Q on Q at around 13.6%. So results will be more on guided line. Expectation is more of on a guided line. So the movement in the price can come with the if the results are outperform or underperform on that account. Tata Coffee is likely to report number. We had seen that the coffee prices, specifically Robusta coffee prices, increasing in this quarter, so we may get some benefit on that account. Whereas the instant coffee division can also do comparatively better in this quarter. Then United Breweries is likely to report number this quarter, that is the June quarter is their key seasonally top quarter, whereas they got impacted because of the COVID in this quarter. Last year also they got impacted heavily in this quarter, and this quarter also they got impacted. So overall revenue, which generally comes very high in this quarter, is likely to decline quarter on quarter by around 25%, and EBITDA is also likely to come at 10% against last quarter 17%. So overall result will be declining. May have some impact of higher barley prices in their result as well. Then ABB is likely to report number, and the numbers are likely to show some improvement on year basis, though quarter on quarter it will be declining and margins are stable. Overall result will be okay. Coforge is likely to report number. Here revenue growth is expected at around 10% quarter on quarter, but partly driven by acquisition. Core organic growth will be 3% quarter on quarter. Result is likely to be more of a stable. Then SRF is likely to report number, and result is likely to show some decline quarter on quarter, mainly driven by decline in margins in plastic film business. Then Welspun India is likely to report number. Here the quarter on quarter expectation is of revenue declining by 5%. Share is outperforming considering boom in the textile market. So if this decline comes quarter on quarter, then the stock may see some corrections. So overall result is Q on Q may see some decline. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.